Contrary to popular belief, spirituality is actually very advanced. Doing spiritual practices and questioning one's beliefs is very, very emotionally taxing and actually requires quite a bit of mindfulness and maturity. Nowadays, there's this idea that, oh, spirituality is just adding fantasies and beliefs and then just believing in them and being all fantastical and woo-woo and loosey-goosey. But what I discovered is that this is actually 180 degrees backwards, and that the true spirituality is about questioning all of one's beliefs, letting go of all thoughts, of all fantasies, and not adding anything, but letting go of everything, and then accessing the truth directly. And most people nowadays, if you ask them, and I know because I used to believe this too, oh yeah, spirituality is just like religion, right? And this is actually not the case at all. Of course, there are lots of beliefs in spirituality too, but if it comes down to the most pure and direct spiritual teachings, there are many of them out there, which recommend various techniques. You'll discover that it's not about adding belief, it's about letting go of all beliefs, letting go of thoughts, and accessing reality and basking in reality exactly as it is. Not adding any fantasies about unicorns, although unicorns are awesome. So this is actually called the pre-trance fallacy. It comes from developmental psychology, and Ken Wilber, I think, coined this term. And he talks about this. He talks about this distinction between true spirituality and religion. And they both have a function, a very, very useful and practical function in society. I don't want to judge anyone's beliefs or their techniques or whatever. Yet there's distinctions to be made, and there's certain things one would likely benefit from when starting spirituality. Because I had this problem in the beginning where I wasn't resisting doing any spiritual practices because I thought they were just a waste of time and I'm just gonna start believing crazy things. And so I want to help open the mind here because this is one of the most counterintuitive things one can do to open oneself up to spirituality. And one can be so surprised by the benefits of that. And I definitely was. So the distinction is between the pre-rational, which is a stage of development where it's a lot about tradition and it's about beliefs and following one's culture and one's elders, and it's all about rules and maybe like following one book, what you were taught when you grew up, and then just living that out, those 10 commandments, and that's it. Not needing to read another book and not questioning anything. And then there's the rational worldview, which is very scientific and rational, which believes in science and what we can see right now, what can be proven directly, and nothing non-physical that exists, and anything that goes within is just subjective, and we're just going to trust our methods here that are very objective. And the rest, anything outside of that, is just loosey-goosey fairy tales and a waste of time. And then there's the post-rational, which includes all of that, yet recognizes the limitations those worldviews have, and so goes further and realizes that there's something beyond thought or even prior to thought, which is the truth, or being, or consciousness, or what is actually the case, direct experience. And this is what true spirituality is about transcending thought and actually not adding any beliefs, but removing all beliefs and actually connecting deeply to all of reality, to the universe, to existence, to source, to spirit, by being actually extremely grounded in the present moment, not thinking, and expanding one's consciousness by simply loving and accepting reality exactly as it is, by abiding in the present moment, not trying to escape. And this would be meditation. There's other practices. There's sitting down with a journal and contemplating a question for a focused amount of time, asking yourself, what is consciousness? who am I? What is God? What is infinity? What is existence? And all these questions that are connecting oneself to the mystery of the universe. And there's other ones. There's breathing techniques, breathwork, pranayama, kriya yoga. There's even psychedelic practices one can do. They are very potent, and one would want to inform oneself before doing them, doing them in a responsible manner. But doing them in a responsible manner is actually extremely powerful, and one of the most counterintuitive things you can open yourself up to and experiment with. They're extremely potent tools to open oneself to the truth and to consciousness and being and oneness and love and so many things. And all those things I thought, okay, because you hear about these teachings, these mystical teachings, which are thousands of years old, and you just confuse them innocently with religious beliefs. But when you have a direct experience of them and don't believe in them, then you're doing true spirituality. Because religion is believing in someone else's experience, and spirituality is having your own. And this is what these techniques do. They help you actually let go of all fantasy, let go of all beliefs, and being hardcore grounded in the present moment and seeing it for exactly what it is. Basking in consciousness and not knowing and connecting to the universe. And we see the consequences of this fallacy of confusing spirituality with religion in today's cultures. We have so many materialistic cultures. We totally discard anything spiritual as fantasy and not important. We just ridicule it, and it's understandable because we've gone through a lot of trauma over the past hundreds of years with religion. And then we had scientific revolutions, and we had the Western Enlightenment, and science came on board, and this was giving us a new direction. And so it's very understandable that this is happening. I don't want to judge it, but I just want to help open your mind, because spirituality, there are actually ways of spirituality, methods that work and that can give you tangible results, and they're actually very, very practical beyond what it seems. They can give you so much peace of mind, regardless of what's going on in the mind, that it can make you feel connected to all of reality, like you're lacking nothing in the present moment because you feel like you're everything. You can let go of emotional blockages, become like a superconductor. Like whatever is happening, you are much more able to deal with it by feeling it deeply and letting the emotional energy pass through you and not resisting anything and just going with the flow of life. More creativity, more joy in giving and being passionate. And sure, there's lots of dark moments too. Lots of emotional healing traumas come up. So many things to face. But after the storm, there's sunshine and rainbows, and then the storm will come again. But it's so much worth it. It's very, very worth it. And it's very counterintuitive because we have a lot of judgment against it. We have fear, justified fears, because we had so much trauma with religion. Yet there's a new time coming right now. We are opening up to spirituality and we are rediscovering our roots. And, all these things we've been doing for ages, for thousands of years, they're nothing new in a sense. Yet we are also discovering new tools like psychedelics are being discovered with all of those laboratories that can come up with new chemicals, do research on them and do medical trials on them. They're being used for psychotherapy and enhancing that whole process because they're so powerful. And we've been doing them for thousands of years. And this is very, very inspiring. So I hope you get on the bandwagon and start a meditation practice, 10 minutes a day, sitting in silence, focusing on the breathing. When you lose focus, you just go back. And our true nature actually never loses focus. It just witnesses the whole process. Awareness is always there. And otherwise, we'll always be lost in the changeful world. The changeful world is always changing. Yet spirituality teaches us that there's something changeless. Our awareness is always there to witness. And this is not a thought, it's prior to thought. And so we'll have something to rest in no matter what is happening in a changeful world. And this is extremely powerful, and we all need to have some form of spirituality. Otherwise, we'll be lost and agitated all the time. And personally, this has been one of the greatest joys, discovering it, opening myself up to it. It's been such a journey. So, hope this opened your mind a little bit. And yeah, I hope this was able to show that spirituality is actually very practical. It may be difficult, but it's totally worth it. And you want to let go of, oh, spirituality is just fantasies and child's play and all about unicorns and fairy tales. No, it's not. It's actually being extremely practical, grounding yourself in the present moment exactly as it is, and being there no matter what is happening. And answering questions, not just as belief, but actually directly, clear-cut answers. What is consciousness? Who am I? What is existence? So I hope this was able to inspire you. And I'm nowhere near the end, but I want to just start sharing all the wonderful benefits that come from this journey of self-realization, self-actualization, and spirituality. So thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you soon with very much more. Peace out, much love, and namaste.